to the channel, friends. Today I'm going to go over my new 9-drawer mobile workbench, and for my particular use it's going to be a stationary toolbox basically, and it's from Harbor Freight, for those of you that are not familiar with this brand, Yukon, but it's basically a very comparable workbench to the Home Depot Husky 46-inch 9-drawer. It's almost a carbon copy of one another, and I've been doing some research, and the Yukon is a little bit cheaper than the Husky. This was $350 at Harbor Freight, and I believe the Husky is right at $400. And I've been looking online on videos and comparisons between the two, and to be honest with you, besides the price point that this was cheaper, on a lot of the videos I've watched, the Yukon is actually a better system. And when I put it together, I'll walk you guys through some of the differences. But as far as the quality as a whole, it seemed like the Yukon was a lot better. So anyways, as far as if you guys are looking at like hardcore details on it, I'm not going to go over that. I'm assuming, you know, most of you probably already know the ins and outs of this particular toolbox or workbench. But just like, I'll go over a couple things that says right here. It has 10,300 cubic inches. It holds 1,200 pounds of tools. Smooth ball bearings on the drawers. The bottom drawers, the deep ones, the 9-inch deep ones, they're actually rated for 200 pounds each. Let's see, it comes with 4 casters, 2 that swivel and 2 that are stationary, and they're 5 by 2 casters, welded steel construction, solid wood work surface, basically a butcher block. I believe it's 3/4 of an inch thick, and it comes in a lot of different colors. It's pretty cool. And one color that seems like a lot of people are raving about and excited about is that this particular system comes in a white, which I guess that's pretty hard to come across, and I don't know why you'd want a white toolbox when you're going to put a bunch of dirty tools in it, but hey, whatever. Anyways, but yeah, that's pretty much the overview of this workbench. And I'm going to do an unboxing and put this sucker together. Here we go. I've seen some people opening this upside down. You don't necessarily want to do that, because right on top here are the keys to the drawers. So I just feel like it's best to sit it upright and you have access to the keys right out of the gate, because in order to put this thing together, you need access to the drawers so you can get the casters out, the handle if you want to install the handle. So if you have it upside down, you don't have access to the keys in order to unlock the drawers. So just a little heads up there. Okay, it's packaged really well, so that's good, since it's made of, let's see, does it say? Doesn't really say the gauge of the metal used, but anyways, it's packaged really well. Like I said, here's the keys right on top here. Okay, owner's manual and instructions, and then of course keys. All right. Here are, oh, and the cool thing with this, it comes with all the mats for all the drawers, so that's very cool that they included that. The one thing with this particular model is, with the Yukon I should say, it doesn't have the soft close drawers where the Husky does. So really that's the only big difference. Well, I should say that there's two differences, significant differences between the Yukon and the Stanley, is that the Yukon doesn't have the soft close drawers, and it doesn't have a built-in power strip. The Husky, on the right hand side, it has a power strip that's kind of like part of the system, and I believe it has some regular plugins plus some USB plugins. So those are the two big differences for sure. Okay, so here's the handle and the casters. Again, packaged really well. Alright, so I'm going to set this thing on its side, install the casters, and then we'll take one last good look at it after I put it all together. For hardware, it does come with a lock washer and a flat washer, and I believe it's a 12mm head, and then it also has, I don't know if you could see it, it also has an Allen wrench dimple in there. So, and that's the route I'm gonna go, and I'm sure the hardware is not, it's probably pretty low quality Chinese, but I think it'll do the job, especially since I'm not going to be moving this thing hardly at all. And obviously you guys know this, but I'm going to state the obvious. You know, hand tighten your bolt before you really crank on them, because if you need to make any movement or adjustments, you're not going to be able to do that if you tighten each one as you go. Alright guys, now we're on the other side. We're going to put the swivel casters on. But one thing I do want to point out is, from what some of the reviews I've watched on the Yukon versus the Husky, is that apparently the Yukon uses much larger bolts with better threads on it and longer. And then also the threaded rivets that you see here, the Husky does not come with that. Basically what the Husky has is a regular hole, and on the other side is a piece of threaded sheet metal, kind of a thicker one, a piece of metal that's threaded, and that's tack welded on, and that's what the smaller bolts or screws are getting threaded on. So just that alone is you know, you can tell that this is a better quality. But what the Husky has is, where the casters are mounted, there's this whole area is reinforced, where this doesn't look like it is reinforced. So it, you know, so they're probably somewhat comparable, because this is not reinforced, but it's using much better threaded rivets, where the Husky is very reinforced, but it's using a lot smaller hardware and pretty poor choice on the thread, what's you're threading the bolts in. So just a little info there. put the handle on this side, and because of that, knowing that, that's why I put the swivel wheels on this side, so it's easier to steer. If you want to put the handle on this other side, you'll want to move your swivel and casters on that side. So keep the handle and the swivel casters on the same side. And it looks like for the handle, they included just the right amount of bolts. For the swivel, or for the casters, it did come with an extra set of washers and bolt. Oh, and I should also mention that it came with the little tool as well. Alright, got that installed. I do want to say, if you're planning on moving this around throughout your shop, your garage, or whatever you want to use it for, definitely I highly recommend to lock the drawers before you start moving it around. If it's stationary like I'm planning to do, I'm gonna leave my drawers unlocked the whole time. The other cool thing about the keys that came with this Yukon is the key itself kind of is on a swivel. I don't know if you can pick that up. So I think that's made to where if you want to leave your key in here the whole time, or in the key slot, so it doesn't stick out, you could just flip it. But I don't know. Yeah, I think that's what it's for, but I would still, I don't know, it's up to you. Kind of cool feature though. But like I said, I'm just gonna keep mine in here. But I am gonna take the mats out, these rubber mats, and put them in my new toolbox. Alright, you guys, I'm pretty freaking stoked about this. All my tools, instead of having them in different bags and buckets and army totes and all that, it'll be cool to just have the majority of them into one area. That's really going to help me clean out my my shelving systems I have in the garage, and just stay more organized and keep better track of where my tools are at, instead of having them spread out in so many different bags and boxes and whatnot. So pretty stoked. I'll definitely do a follow-up video on this, maybe a year later or 2 years later, just to give you guys a better idea if this cheaper brand toolbox, like the homeowner's toolbox value, if it holds up. I'm not going to be using it every day or every week or anything like that, so it's not going to have super heavy use, but I'm hoping and I have a feeling that it's just right for me. So anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope this kind of painted a picture for you guys if you're in the market for a smaller toolbox, tool bench, workbench. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, comment below. If this was at all useful for you, please hit the subscribe button and hit the like button and the bell so you're notified when I post more videos. Thanks, guys.